Hello, everybody. My name is Jacques Couture, and we are here for another filming day of The Blood We Spill. Thank you so much for joining us. I do have some bad news. Unfortunately, some of our grips have left us in the night. They've gone. And so we're down to a skeleton crew at this point. Lots of extras doing extra work. And it's going to look great on their resumes, let me tell you. Which is important. That, I've been told, has a way of turning into money at some point. Just not on this film. So let's talk about what happened the last time we were here. You all were at a frat party / sex orgy cult thing. And the host, Pastor Brad, ended up getting eaten by a werewolf. You know, I realize I'm getting ahead of myself. I haven't even introduced our illustrious cast because I'm all hyped up on Tab. Let us start with Michelle. Remind us who you're playing, Michelle.
Hello, I'm Michelle, actor extraordinaire, and I am playing Dr. Joseph Carlyle.
Chrissy.
Oh, hi. I'm fresh new face to the screen. Chrissy, playing Wendy Foster.
Janine.
Hello, my name is Janine, and I will be playing the wonderful Angelique Cooper. Young, gorgeous, just like me.
And Candace.
Hello. Veteran actress here. Candace the Magnificent, playing Simone Dawes, gymnast and unfortunate victim of foul play.
So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can return to my introduction, which is very important, of course, so we all know what we're supposed to do today. Basically, you were at this frat party, as I was saying, with the Pastor Brad, who ended up getting attacked by a werewolf that Janine let out of a cage. Angelique, her character, of course, opened the cage and allowed this beast out, and it attacked Brad. You all left. You were able to get the kids out of the house as well, even though they were embroiled in an orgy, which I give you points for. That is not easy to do. After such a event, you left quickly. You went back to, I believe, Dr. Carlisle's house, and you talked about what to do next. You figured that you found out that there were several different werewolves. There were 6 at one point. You killed one of them on your way out of the house, so now there are 5 left throughout the city. And you then talked about Beelzebub and a possible spell from the wonderful Simone's book that could be used to possibly get rid of Beelzebub. So you did what any incredibly good detective crew would do, and you split up and you went in different directions, which I, for one, am always appreciative.
All right, y'all, let's split up and look for clues.
Exactly. Let's Scooby this shit.
Come on, Scoob.
Raggy? Yeah. I worked on Scooby-Doo, and there was an episode. It was Mystery Machine.
Mystery Incorporated. And there was one scene where Velma and Scooby were in the room. They weren't kissing. I don't know. Maybe they were. And Scooby comes in and he goes, "Shaggy, are you cheating on me?" And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's spicy.
Bestiality is going on. That's what's happening.
What fanfic writer came up with that?
Seriously.
And got it through.
What?
We gotta shake things up on this show.
What
Ratings
lawyer? Exactly. What lawyer in the Warner Brothers apparatus said, "You know what? Yeah, fuck it, let it go, just do
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. It's gonna be all okay." So, but you all split up. Dr. Carlisle went to the local Lenny's to find his secret society to talk to them about what's going on with Beelzebub. And unfortunately, it looks like they were hit. And so that led him to call his friend and set up a meeting at the local city graveyard. Now it's daytime at this point. It's like lunchish. So, around noon. And he's going to go down there and meet with his friend from, and I forgot, Michelle, what did we call your friend again?
I think we called him Carlos.
Was it Carlos? Yeah, it was Carlos. You're absolutely right. So Carlos was going to meet you down there.
He's from the, Carlos Juarez, and he's from the Contra Malum.
Okay, cool.
Contra what?
Contra Malum.
Very nice. Meanwhile, Angelique went to the Black Panthers to get some help, and her cousin agreed to go and get some guns and as many silver bullets as they could come up with, and that she would come by later and pick those up. And we haven't, I don't think we've looped around to Angelique again. Wendy and Simone went to the house of Hannah, who is Wendy's best friend. The door was, I believe, a bit ajar, and she put her hand on it and did her magic, I can see the last 3 scenes thing, and saw that inside the room was a corpse of Brad walking around, doing things in the house, which is, not very disconcerting. So that is where we are at this point with this particular story. Wow, we are getting a lot of people following. Thank you all so much for following. We appreciate it. Which brings me to one more piece of business before we jump in. If you'll notice, our tip goal right now is at $50. We started this last week. If in this show before our break, which is about an hour from now, we are able to hit that 200 mark, I am going to do we're going to go back in the past, like way back, probably 100, 200 years, and do a quick version of what happened in Blackwater Bay, Black Wolf Bay, many years ago.
So I mentioned this possibility on stream on Sunday, and instantly everyone was like, time travel. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, because the game is set up to be played in any different basically 1800s whatever. You can play it anytime. So, thank you, Bowman. Now, the other thing I was just about to say before Bowman made us hit the 100 is that if we hit 100, which is the halfway mark, which we just did, you all get a bonus die on any particular roll that you want to use it on. So each person gets a bonus die. You have to use it this particular game. That is why I will be doing this entire game will be just us talking in a room. So there won't be any rolls, but it's there for you if you need it. Anyway, so yeah, everybody gets an extra die. Use it wisely. Make sure you use it on something that's real clutch. Okay. So, yeah, let's start off. Let's see who to start with. Zombie Brad. You know what? I'm going to loop around to Janine because I think that tension is fun. So, Janine, you have just finished up at the local Black Panther chapter, and you said goodbye to your cousin. What would you do next, do you think?
I'm going shopping for supplies.
Okay.
So looking around town to kind of find additional weapons that would just be so that we don't have to use as many improvised weapons in case of gun jammings or, not having enough silver bullets.
So I almost envisioned a montage of Angelique going into like a Big Five sporting goods store and picking up like hockey masks, bow and arrows, and just every store she hits, you see her Ford Galaxy park in the front, her throwing a bunch of shit in the back, her getting in and going to the next place. And yeah.
I definitely skid curbside pickup and just kind of hit the curb and hop out, and it's like a 10-second sprint through the store, and then I come back and throw it in the back and just speed off.
Absolutely. And for some reason, there's Brady Bunch parking at every place. And for those of you who don't know, in the Brady Bunch, every time they parked anywhere, the very first spot was always open for them to just swing into. So that's what we will say is happening. Every time you get there, there's a perfect spot open. So you are stocked up on everything that you can think of.
Does that mean if I say whatever I ask for in the moment in the battle,
sure,
I can use?
Yeah, absolutely.
Guess who's got a flamethrower? I'm just kidding.
I went down to the army surplus and they gave me a World War II flamethrower. Oh yeah.
We're gonna stupid love the smell of burning hair in the morning.
I don't need any bug killer. I just have a flamethrower. I'm not. I don't need to see an inventory list. You have the stuff you need for attacks and all of that. So that's what you do for the remainder of the day. Where would you head when you're done with your montage?
I'd assume we didn't really say that we had a meeting place afterwards, so I'd probably try to head back to the professor's.
Okay, cool. So let's jump over to Dr. Carlisle. You arrive at the graveyard, and like I said, it's midday at this point, probably like 12 or 1 o'clock, and Carlos is waiting by his car, and the air is really thick. You can tell that it rained last night and it's probably going to rain again relatively soon. You know, it's like walking through pea soup. And he greets you and says, what's going on? Do you know what's happening?
Well, I have some idea. You see, Beelzebub, or one of his minions, has invaded Black Wolf Bay.
I have not heard from several of our members in the past day. It's
Don't
all connected.
Go to the Lennies. Yes, I went to meet with them, and I saw the thing coming out, and our friends were no more.
That's unfortunate.
But that is only one of our problems.
There's more?
Apparently, there's a family of werewolves in Black Wolf Bay.
Oh, the Do-Rights. We know.
Oh, well, one of them was killed by me at a party, and now the family is after myself and my student.
Well, that was very brave of you to take on a werewolf all on your own.
I wasn't by myself, but it was out of necessity. It would have eaten us all.
No, I
He'd
understand.
been starved for weeks, I think. He was in prison.
Well, we've known about the Do-Right werewolf family for a little while now. We just haven't figured out a way to deal with them. They're spread throughout the city and they keep a low profile, and we haven't had the numbers to be able to take them on, to be honest. And now you're telling me that some of our members are dead and there's demons afoot.
Yes.
I don't quite know what to do with all of that, to be honest with you. Is there any way I could help?
Well, I was hoping for some sort of talismans for myself and my compatriots as we face this demon, and maybe something to ward off the werewolves, Wolfsbane or some sort of thing.
Talismans. Let me see. Why, yes. We have a talisman that could work against evil of this nature. Not necessarily against the werewolves, but at least against the demon for now. If you wear it, you will not be able to be approached without causing great pain towards the demon. And tell me, Wolfsbane, if you give me a few hours, I'll be able to get you something to protect you from the werewolves as well. I only have one talisman, though. They didn't mass market them, unfortunately, wasn't it?
No. Is there a way to reproduce them?
There is, through a montage. Yes, there is. You can get
the holy montage.
You'd have to go to, and I'm going to pull this up just for chat to know. This is the city map real quick. Weird. Why is it missing? Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. So this is a city map. And he said, you know, you're going to have to take it to, let's see, either God's house church to get it blessed. Or I believe there's a Catholic church that I can't find on my map right now. But either one of those to get it blessed by either by a priest before trying to use it against the unholy minions. But here is the talisman or the amulet. But you don't have much time before dark. I don't know how many you would be able to make before then. You'd have to get a blacksmith. Maybe the church would have some kind of protective thing that you can use against demons and devils. Unfortunately, we have a lot of spells, but not a lot of talismans, as it were.
Well, I'm grateful for the help you have given me, and I will head over to the church. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let's flip over to Wendy and Simone. You're outside the door. You've had this flash of what happened recently, that there's possibly an undead youth pastor named Brad in the room that you're about to walk into.
Don't go falling in love now, darling. We talked about this.
What are we supposed to do?
I expect we are supposed to make him re-dead.
I don't have any weapons. Do you have any weapons? Do you have your book? Do you think the book could do it?
Can I leaf through it and see if there's anything in there that can be like fireball?
Magic missile. Yeah, and I'm going to say that you know this book well. It calls to you. You read it quite often when you know you shouldn't. So you know more about it than you probably let on. The re-killing, exactly. That is, the re-killing is going to be the next movie we make. But yeah, I'm going to say yeah. Let's see. I think so you're looking for something that's going to be, that you can cast that's relatively quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Candace.
No ritual casting here, only instant gratification.
Only instant. Yeah. None of this 3-hour bullshit. I want explosions now.
No, that's it.
All right. So
get in and get out.
Exactly. I think this is to get what you're looking for and to say that you are able to cast it. I'm going to say cunning plus
enigmas.
Yeah. Let's do enigmas. I kind of wish they had a cult on the skills, personally. I think that
agreed.
Would be
yeah.
So for future updates, a cult in skills, that would be
your one request.
My one request. So go ahead and roll, and the more successes you get, the more you get to dictate what this all is.
Okay, it's over 8.
8 and 9 are 1 success a piece, and then 10s are 2 per 10.
Can we get demo success over here?
You got 1 success?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So what we'll say is you can say that what kind of spell it's going to be, and then we'll go from there. So will it be like a fireball spell? Will it be an energy draining spell? A command zombie spell? What kind of thing do you want to do?
I think, ordinarily I would choose command zombie because then I could, have him as my little friend, but I'm nervous that my companion here is going to be in over her head.
Hello to my little friend.
She would totally be into it. Come on.
I think it's going to be removing the energy to hopefully make it undead.
This is my friend Brad. All right. All right. So basically energy suck, basically. Okay. So how do you enter the room?
I say, brace yourself. And I have my book kind of aloft and tucked under my boob. Okay. And I open the door with a flourish and it goes crashing into the wall. And I hold up my hand and I say, stop, Pastor! The power of Satan compels you. And I beckon with my fingers at the energy pulsing inside of it.
Okay. That was such a great intro that I'm not even going to make you roll for that. The zombie Brad turns around. He's covered in flies and maggots. It's obvious that Beelzebub has reanimated him for his own purposes. And when you say this, all of the creatures that are on Brad right now, keeping him aloft, scatter to the floor and start to crawl away and fly away into different areas. And Brad's corpse once again drops to the ground and with a large thud.
Disgusting. Let's open a window.
Oh,
darling,
yes.
Find a window.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna run up and open a bunch of windows, all of them that I can find. But also, my friend's dead, right?
You're looking through the house, and beyond the smell of Brad, which wasn't good, you get into her room and you find her on her bed, covered in blood, covered in knife marks, very much dead.
Oh
no! Oh, that's too bad.
I should have never let her go home alone from that party. Although it doesn't look like she was alone. I guess she brought Brad home with her. I don't think that was her intent whenever she was flirting with him originally. I think she wanted him to be alive and not maggot covered.
That's a good prerequisite for any date.
I should say so.
I mean, you'd think.
I like my men maggot free.
Do I hear anything in this house?
Low bar.
Because clearly someone must have stabbed the girl, and it couldn't have been Zombrad. So
it could not have been Zombrad.
Thanks, Bowman.
Exactly. Thank you, Bowman. So real quick, before I get to Zombrad and whoever else is in this place, I'm going to say Wendy in particular. I'm not going to say Simone, because Simone's a little bit more versed in the demonic, obviously, from casting this spell. But there's something called haunted in this game. Basically, you're freaked out. It's a psychological thing where you're feeling on edge and you're scared and everything else. So you're haunted for a certain amount of time. I'm just going to say you're stunned at this point, which is you've been you've basically been zapped. You're kind of...
Did you say stunned?
Stunned, yeah.
Okay, I have a thing.
Okay, go for it.
It was the one... you know how it says that we can take 2 from our own and then 1 from another playbook or another. Okay, I took this is deeply unnatural, but I like it. So you're
Excellent.
not just immune to monstrous influences; you enjoy it.
Okay, you are oddly inspired, I'll say, by what you're seeing. You should be horrified, but you like it. All right.
Do I see this?
Yeah, she has a moment, a twinge of like, oh my God. And then suddenly, hey, this is not bad.
Oh my
I
God.
can deal with this. Yeah.
I look over and I see this face. Like I look over once and then I do like a double take. And I say, my darling, may I come closer? And I step in super duper close. And I look into your eyes and kind of stare at you for a minute. And I go, we have a lot in common.
You're so very pretty.
You flatter me. We need to look for someone else before let's just keep looking. And I grab you by the hand and I just kind of start looking throughout the room to see if I can figure out if there's been a third person in here, if the demon just popped up or what.
So you look around and you find a second set of footprints that are bloody walking out from the bedroom into the kitchen. It looks like they got a snack after they did their work. It's tiring stabbing someone to death. And then they left out one of the windows for some reason. And you realize it might be because you showed up at the time that you did. They might not be very far from where you're at right now.
I don't want to ask a stupid question, but would you like to look around and try and find this person or thing?
Yeah.
So I kind of tip my face delicately outside of that same window and I look up first and then down.
Okay. You look up and you see a young student, probably in his early 20s, and he's looking down at you and he's got a knife in his hand. It's still bloody. And he goes, fuck. I didn't think you'd look out here. Now I have to kill more people. And he starts coming down the fire escape to where you're at. What do you want to do?
Okay. I would like to tell my companion, Wendy, get back! You're too pretty to die this young. And I grab the windsill, the top of the windsill, and I'd like to do a flip to move my legs out the windsill, almost
To
like I'm
flip
doing
out?
the bars in gymnastics. So I flip out and around. And I want to try to kick him.
Wow, that seems like a roll to me. All right, so that's actually going to be 2 rolls because it's the acrobatics and it's also an attack.
Okay.
But because we'd like to streamline as much as possible, I'm going to say let's just make it 1, and I'm going to make it really easy for you.
Okay.
Instead of close combat, I'm going to base it off of athletics.
Okay.
And I'm going to base it off dexterity. So you get a shit ton of dice for that.
Oh my gosh. This is almost too much dice, but I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
Are there complications?
Yes. One complication is the fact that it's a small area. So if you overshoot it, you're going, down. You're 1 story up. So you won't kill yourself, but you might hurt yourself pretty badly. And so the difficulty to hit the person is still 1, but to buy off the complication is going to be a 2. So you have to spend an extra 2 points of success to buy that complication off. So you can still hit him and fly over the side of this thing. It's all possible.
So I have a trope. Nobody could survive that.
Awesome.
Which says once per story, if an action requires bravado or seems borderline suicidal, you can add a number of dice to your dice pool equal to the number of complications.
That's totally fits this certain situation.
So I can add 2 dice to this?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Okay. Awesome.
And everybody, please remember you have an extra die from Bowman who gave us that tip. So make sure that you keep that in mind because I don't want you not to use.
Okay. Let's see. I've got 3 successes.
Okay, awesome. So you swing out, you hit this guy, and as he's just about to go out and you land right next to him, I'm going to say that he's going to try to, well, you know what? Let me see something. Because you just hit him. You didn't have enough points to really do any damage to him. Because I didn't ask, how do you want to spend those 3 successes? Because you have to pay off that condition, and to hit would be 1. Do you just do that? So it's 3 altogether. Or do you want to go off the side and do something suicidal like that and grab the bar? Content warning. Sorry, guys.
I think like I want to, if he's above me, I feel like he's probably clinging onto like the siding of this house. So I'd like to just knock him off the house. Like we're on the 2nd or 3rd floor.
And then both of you go down?
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Parkour.
All right, cool. So
as we're falling, I try to grab him so that I can like land on top if I can to like pivot.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's how it works.
Well, it is a Hollywood movie, so I think we can make it work that way, but we got to see if you're doing all your own stunts, and that's dangerous. But we don't have a budget for a stunt person, so that's not going to happen either. So give me a close combat and give me a dexterity to ride him down and land on top of him like a sack of potatoes.
Ooh, sounds a little sexy.
Could be in the right. Sounds like something they made up in Ohio or something. Idaho.
I got 1, 2 successes and a 10, so 4 successes.
Okay, so the 1 success means that you can grab onto him and start turning him around. The second, the 3 other successes you can use for different combat stunts, so you can do a shit ton of damage. Thank you, Kiwi, for the tip. We appreciate it. You can do combat damage, and that would be 3 levels of combat damage all at once. Or I believe you can pin or grapple. There's a lot of different things. If you look at...
I think I want to do a medium amount of damage because I want him down, but I don't want him dead.
Okay.
Because we might want to question him.
Right.
And then I would like to, so maybe use 2 of my successes for that.
Right.
1 success to like grapple, and then like hopefully 1 success to not smash my knees apart.
Well, I'm going to say that because you got the amount of successes, you don't need to worry about that. I will say you will take 1 level of damage. So it's just a flesh wound. You just click that off on your character sheet. Okay. You hit hard right on top of this guy, just bam. And you can feel his rib cage kind of go in a little bit as the wind just gets knocked out of him. And he takes a couple of levels of damage, and the knife goes skittering off, and you're on top of him. You have him grappled. What do you want to say in this clutch moment?
I say, never run from a professional, darling. After all, I'm the one who made it out.
He's like, what do you want? Let me go. Leave me alone. I can't breathe.
Talk to me about your friend, the devil, the demon, Beelzebub. And then I shout over my shoulder, Wendy, come here.
I like come out. There's a fire escape, right?
Yeah,
so I come
there's
down.
a fire. That's the easy way to go down.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm quite fine. This idiot is the one who killed your friend. What would you like to do to him?
Oh, interesting. Did you use that knife?
No.
He's lying to you.
I've never seen that knife before.
He's lying to you.
He is lying to me. Well, I think that we would like our questions answered for one, and then we'd like to chop you into little bitty pieces for two.
Jesus, Simone turned into Palpatine and just
Hold on,
he's
that
lying.
just went real evil real fast.
He's a bad guy.
Lied. He's bad.
I think
Let
we split
your-
the party the
Person for
wrong
her to
way, y'all.
practice on.
Let the evil flow through you. Feel the hate.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wendy, I feel like this is a manipulation, definitely. And oof.
Oh, I had a quip. It probably
Okay.
wasn't obvious.
Oh, you did? What was it?
Yes, it was. I'm the one who made it out.
That's cool. I will give you the point for that. I think that's pretty cool.
I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you.
So manipulation and persuasion. So
Oh, cool. So a lot of dice.
yeah, for you that's a lot of dice. He's also just been ridden down the side of a building and landed on
Like a fucking surfboard.
yeah, like a surfboard.
Surfing USA.
All right. That is, I have one success out of all those dice. One singular success.
One. Sorry. Well, one's all you need. He goes, look. I was told by the priest to take a few of the students who saw what happened out before they could start talking. I don't know anything beyond that. I'm just a lackey. That's it. This was just a job. I'm trying to get into the cult, and I brought Brad with me to,
What's your name?
Jed.
Jed? Brad was dead.
Well, I mean, our Lord Beelzebub brought him back.
But you know what? Maybe he'll bring you back too. And I grab the knife and I stab him.
Seriously? Okay. Wow.
I tried to warn you. She meant business, Jed. You shouldn't lie to a lady with a knife.
Okay. So he's grappled, and you're just gonna kill him. All right.
It can be slow. He has plenty of time to tell us the truth. Who's this priest? I scream into his face. I have my
Actually,
knee
yeah.
in
I'll,
his in his chest, and are you stabbing his stomach?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna stab him in the gut.
Oh.
I was gonna say heart.
Metal.
We'll stab him in the gut so he's still alive. Yeah.
Okay. Because there's nothing easier to die from than a stomach wound. Oof. All right. So you stab him, and suddenly this turns into Reservoir Dogs. He goes, ah.
You call that a scream?
I wasn't paid a lot. What more information do you want?
Simone? I
Pardon?
I believe Simone was asking you questions. I think you should answer them.
Yes.
The
Who is
priest?
this priest, and where can we find him?
He's at the God's House Church over on the east side.
I see. So, it's a front
It
for
is a front.
Satanists.
Yes.
And what's the name of your cult, young man? I mean, fellow student.
It's just the cult of Beelzebub. We tried to workshop my stomach, other names, but nothing better came up. Can you please call a doctor? I think I'm bleeding out.
A doctor? Wendy, why would this young man need a doctor with Beelzebub on his side?
I could never imagine. You've got this powerful demon that can resurrect you. Do I need to complete the job first? That seems to be what you're saying.
No, not at all. I told you the information. Oh, Jesus.
He can't help you.
I guess that boat has sailed too.
All right, well, you've had a nice time, yes? And I look at Wendy and I kind of take the knife out of her hands. Okay, well, This young man says he'd like to be left to his own devices. So I say we meet up with our party, let them know we got the information that they need, and see about these werewolves.
Okay, that was so much fun. I've never got to stab anyone before. Thank you.
Listen, as long as it's evil people,
Oh,
you'll be
yes.
fine. When you kill a
Yes.
bunch of gymnasts, apparently everyone gets up into a brouhaha.
Oh,
They weren't that nice.
That does remind me. I turn back. Just for the record, if you tell anyone I stabbed you, I will come back and finish the job.
Okay, hippie girl. I believe you.
Okay.
I thought you all were vegetarians. Ow. So, wow. That took a turn.
That took a turn.
I'm not saying it was a bad turn. It just took a turn. So now there's this guy bleeding out in an alleyway with probably broken ribs and, spitting up a little blood, which is, it literally is in our title. So we did spill some blood. So let's jump. Where would you all? I'm going to assume that you go back to Dr. Carlisle's to meet up with the rest. So we will say that you and Angelique, the three of you, are together again. Dr. Carlisle, you've gotten the information. Do you go to the church or do you go straight back to the house?
Well, I was going to hit the church on the way back to the house to see if maybe they also had some other talismans.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you walk in there, and the minister of the house of God's house is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to go to the Catholic church.
Did you make the decision before or after that last
No,
thing,
before.
Dr.
I was.
Carlisle?
Sorry, I was going to go to the Catholic church because because that's very 70s.
Very true.
Like, horror
very
movie.
true. Okay. Well, yeah. I will give you that. It's very simple.
No, and I'm sorry. No, and I did make that decision before. I just didn't specify.
I'm just giving you shit. I totally believe you.
please.
Father, please help me.
Liar! Metagaming. Yeah. I give a fuck. What's a good Catholic name, Michelle?
Come
on.
St. Mary's is just standard, pretty standard.
No, I'm talking about for a father.
Sacred Heart Cathedral. Father
Sacred-
Patrick.
Father Patrick. Yeah,
Father Patrick, but
I think we
he's
were married by a
German.
Father Patrick.
We
Are you
were-
serious?
Yeah.
And he's like an
Was
older
he Father Pat?
white-haired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Father Pat. He goes by Father Pat too. The younger.
Our wedding was great because it was like there were all of these traditional things we had to do, and I don't know if they were they.
Oh no, ours was a Father Mike, but it was Father Mike O'Brien.
O'Brien.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not Catholic, so it was all new to me. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I had to go through all of this, no training, nothing. It was just like, here, do all this stuff.
You're like bowing,
I'm like
kneeling
bowing,
a little
doing
bit.
it. They're putting silk
Dabbing.
ropes over your hand and all this stuff, and you're like, okay, when are we married?
Sure.
They're like, did I say the I do part yet? Jesus.
I'd really like to get to the food. So Father Patrick, who's German, is sitting behind the at one of the pews, just reading a book, waiting for the next mass to start. And he turns around and he sees you. Oh, Dr. Carlisle, how are you? How are things? And we're gonna say that he's part of your secret society as well, because that makes sense to me.
Hello, Father Patrick. I wish I was the bearer of better news, but unfortunately, the devil is among us, or at least one of his chief demons.
I see. Is this something we should tell the Vatican about?
We'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. What do you need from me and the church?
Well, first I have this talisman that Carlos gave me that I would like to have blessed, but I need 3 more talismans to protect my compatriots.
That's a tall order at this time of day. You need them quickly, I imagine.
I mean, anything you have that might suffice that would help against the demon or against werewolves or both.
Werewolves? Oh, the do-rights.
Yes.
You're
they're
going up
after us.
against them?
Well, we didn't know it was a whole family of werewolves, and I killed one of them. He was going to eat us, to be fair.
It's not a sin to kill a werewolf. It's all within the bounds of the church, fortunately. You just can't kill humans with impunity.
Oh,
or
well,
leave
of
them
course
dying
not.
in an alley. That's another sin.
No,
that
only
lot
a
of people
monster would do such a thing.
A lot of people don't realize. Don't go around stabbing people, is what I'm saying.
Stabbing people and especially can you imagine being stabbed in the stomach and left to die in an alleyway? Oh,
Especially if you
horror.
fell off that building. If you fell off a building and then were stabbed.
If you were kicked off a building?
If you were kicked off a building, that would be.
You were surfed down the side of a building.
You surfed down the side of the building. It just gets worse and worse.
That would be adding insult to injury.
Grievous injury.
Like, put the stick down already.
So he goes, give me just a few minutes. We have some things that might be able to protect your friends. You need 3 things, you say.
Yes.
Things seem to always happen in 3s for some reason. Let me go find out all right, 1 second. He goes, you're in luck. I've got a few items here. I have a cross that can be used. I have this vial of holy water you can use to keep people at bay for a little bit at least. And then I also have this holy relic, which has a seal and is from one of the saints, because my brain just went... So, yes, you can...
Saint Anthony, the patron saint of animals.
There you go. So you can use one of these items with your amulet to help.
Thank you so much.
Good
Thank you
luck.
so much, Father Patrick.
If there's anything else that we let us know.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
And I go on my way. I head back to...
All right. So as you're driving, it's that scene where, it's the outside of the car and you see the sun just slowly starting to go down as you're driving across the town back to
I'm driving like this.
Your base, and you're driving. You are all now back at Dr. Carlisle's place. You have a spell. You have all of this different things, but you have 2 different wars you're fighting. You're fighting against the do-right werewolves, and you're also fighting against this cult that seems to have reanimated the people who die to do their bidding. So, what do you all want to do at this junction as the sun starts to dip down beneath the horizon and night falls upon you?
All right. I got my cousin over in Uptown that we got to go get some stuff from. But I also got, as I'm like pulling them all out to the car and that I've parked, all of this. You open the trunk and it's very like supernatural style. Like there's racks in the back of the trunk for where all of the other weapons will go, but there's bags full of like axes and stakes. And I'm like, and I got one of these, and I draw the bow and like release an arrow, and you just hear a thunk somewhere far off. And I'm like, don't know what that was, but you know what? We're ready. And if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So I hand like a club to Chrissy.
Okay.
By the way,
Excellent, Angelique.
By the way, Chrissy and Simone, do you retell what happened at Hannah's in any detail, or do you leave out certain bits of the encounter?
I think
It's not...
Wincy probably would have at least started to try and say everything, unless Simone explicitly stops her. She's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, so we found my friend. She was dead, and we found the guy who killed her, and I stabbed him, and I didn't
self-defense, of course. Self-defense. Keep talking, darling. Self-defense. I saw the whole thing. He tried to kick her off the roof. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. It was pandemonium.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Simone saved us both, because whenever he tried to kick us, she kicked him, and they fell off the roof together. And then yeah, he now has a wound in his stomach. He's still alive though. I didn't actually kill him. Maybe I should have.
No, darling. You did the right thing. You're not evil. You're not a bad guy. Look at our friends' faces. Look how impressed they are and not absolutely horrified.
But now he can go kill somebody else.
I don't think he's going very far.
Very fair. You're right.
Well, I can't really follow up after that one, but I will say I did get us some supernatural help. I have a talisman here that will work against the demon, and I have these other items. I have one for each of you. I have holy water. I have a cross. I'm assuming silver.
Yes. We'll
Okay,
say.
I have a silver cross and I have a holy relic of Saint Anthony.
Quite a stash, Doctor.
Right then, you hear the bay of a wolf not far in the distance.
Oh shit! Into the car.
So you want to
This
jump
is
into your car?
exciting.
Yes, let us away.
All right. So you jump into the car, and who's driving? And I'm assuming that it's going to be Angelique. Okay. So you pull out real quick. Are you just driving, or do you have a specific place you want to go?
We are on our way to pick up the other weapons from Kevin.
Back to the Black Panther office or wherever the meeting area is. All right, so as you're driving, Wendy, you're in the back seat with Dr. Carlisle. I'm making this up as I go. And you turn around and you take a look and you see two werewolves bounding behind the car, going very fast. Now, you're on residential streets, so you're probably in like a 30 mile per hour situation. Angelique, you look in your rearview mirror and you see these werewolves with these huge yellow eyes barking at you just like that dog just did, coming down the street as quickly as possible. They're going to catch up with you unless you start driving like Starsky and Hutch. So, yeah.
Faster, must go faster.
Hit the e-brake and drift and just like hit that that hard turn and accelerate as fast as I can in the same direction, using their own momentum and the momentum of the building momentum of my vehicle against them.
So I'm going to say that this is going to be a composure. You're driving a Ford Galaxy. These things are massive. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I mean, as a little bit of like the actor becomes the actual character and vice versa. I have done some very impressive things in 4-panel vans. I'll tell you what.
Well, so your character does not have any pilot.
I do not have pilot.
Which is what we usually use. But I will say that you are full of composure as you're doing this. So that's at least 3 dice that you get to roll. Do you have a trademark or something that you can hook into this that would give you some extra points?
That 1 dice that we got from the beginning.
Okay, you can use that if you want.
Bill, and then just 3 composure.
So 4
Quips.
altogether
Do you have
so
any
far.
Quips in the bank?
I think you had
do
like
not.
2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you had 2 from last time. I believe
that you're
quip-
hiding something from me.
Yeah, you did that one, I believe. So, and if I remember correctly, which I probably don't, let's see.
If it's a boon, I'll take it though.
Yeah, exactly. Always take the boons. The boon
Worry about
dice.
the consequences later. So 5?
5.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Wow.
I got
That is
3
impressive.
8s and a 10.
So you are driving the shit out of this Ford Galaxy, which is literally
I'm gonna look it up.
5,000 pounds of steel. Have you never seen one there?
It's
can't
a boat. Call it to mine.
It's a boat. It's like a caddy from the 70s. It's that big.
Yes, I am whipping this.
They're huge. And the reason I always go for them is I actually owned a really shitty one as my first car a long time ago, and it was terrible. So tell me what you do. Now, yeah, you have a bunch of points. You can save them for your next roll, or you can use a stunt from piloting, or you can just do something cool. What do you want to do?
You said stunt from where?
Pilot. You can use one of the pilot stunts under skills.
I think I would love to use one of the pilot skills. I just have to find it. Okay. Bench racer.
You can do simple, flashy, or daring. Each one costs, so simple is 1 point, flashy is 2, and daring is 3.
Daring.
Successes. So
Obviously.
watch this.
Yeah, look what I can do.
You can turn wheelies and cut a path for these successes.
Like I said, as I'm bending a corner, like at a very high speed, I kind of hit the brake and use that momentum to spin the car. We do like 2 full rotations, and then I punch it and just go like playing chicken with these werewolves. And I'm like, Professor, use the bow. Assuming the professor's in the front, and Simone and Wendy are in the back saying their last "I love yous."
I'm in the front.
No, Simone's in the front.
Simone, do your worst. And I kind of hand you the bow.
So as she's doing this with one hand, she hands a bow with the other. What are you doing, Simone? How do you react to all of this?
I'm shaken for a moment, looking at Angelique like driving the hell out of this car, and I look at her like Vapus. As I see her just killing it and getting out of there, and I kind of throw a look over my shoulder at Wendy this is great. And I take the bow and I swing. Is it a crossbow?
Yes. It's whatever kind of bow you want it to be. So crossbow.
So I'd like it to be a crossbow, and I want to kind of swing up and out of the car and kind of sit my butt on the windowsill, and sort of aim and try and get him.
All right, so you swing out of the car, and I'm not gonna make you make an athletics roll for that, but it's not close combat. This would be shooting. Aim. Is there aim? You're right. Oh, your aim is not good.
It's okay.
It's okay. So we're gonna do aim and I guess dexterity, because that makes the most sense. You're trying to keep your balance.
That's fair.
Give me a shot.
2 successes.
Cool. So you hit one of them. How do you want to use your second success? Do you want to just do more damage to that particular werewolf? Or do
I think so. I want to put him down if I can.
It's going to take a lot more than that. You know that from the other night. You're going to have to add up a lot of bolt hits.
So since I have an additional die, can we add that as kind of additional damage?
I was going to say, I think I have 3 successes that I'm just sitting on. If they roll over.
Yeah, I'll say that in this particular case, you guys can use your extra successes if you want to do really grievous damage. But in that case, you take this killer shot and you end up doing 4 levels of damage to this one werewolf, and that knocks it to the ground. But I am going to make you make an athletics and might roll to keep holding onto the car, because you do this killer shot, but you also have a Ford Galaxy whipping around. So I think that's a good compromise on doing cool shit. Now, Angelique, you have an extra point. If you want to hit one of the werewolves and do damage with the car, you can.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
These things back in the day when they were built out of metal and nothing could take it out. Yeah. I'm absolutely ramming.
You could take out a small school bus with that car.
While Simone's reloading, I say, dip it in the holy water.
Okay.
Doctor, I love the way you think.
Because
I try to very delicately
it's pretty
offer
good.
the tip of the arrow.
Wendy, what are you doing? You're in the car, you're swinging around. Is there anything you want to do at this point?
I'm enjoying the most fun carnival ride in my life. Oh God, my character sheet broke. Sorry.
That's okay.
Keep going down on me. I'm not entirely. She gave me a club, right? So I don't have anything I can shoot.
Just based on the way that I'm going to assume that you could have grabbed whatever from the back of the trunk, because that's that's what I just kind of passed off to you. I'm like, this is what you can handle. But if you saw something else that you liked.
Yeah, the only thing you all don't have right now, I don't believe you have the guns yet. You have to get to the Black Panther place to be able to get the guns.
Oh, I was gonna say I wanna shoot a gun, but never mind if we don't have that.
We've got some hatchets.
Yeah, can I throw one of those?
You'd have to break out the back window to do it, but I'm all for that. That's fine. It's up to you.
Hey,
Angelique? Oh, don't ask.
Just do it.
Cinematically, don't ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wendy just leans back, sticks her foot up, and kicks the glass and tries to break the window.
What the hell are you doing?
Help me!
The glass goes out. It breaks. You pop the glass
Cynthia.
out. And you have the hatchet in your hand. And there's still one wolf following you all. First, let's do Simone's roll to see if she's able to stay on the car as it's swinging around. So this was might plus acrobatics. And you got
three successes, a 10 and a 9.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to say that you're able to hold on and dip the arrow in the holy water and reload which this is all, just so you all know. Cut for a minute, cut. Look, I love all this. This is great, but you got to remember this for our backers and the people who are making this film possible. I have to tell you that this is all batshit crazy. It really is amazing, but also not real at all. This is where we get into the figure of the art of good film making, in my opinion. All right, let's get back to places. Start spinning the car
I must
again.
be allowed to do my best work without interruption.
I had to make sure everyone was relatively safe. So the car starts spinning again. The back window's out. Wendy, you are out the side of the back and you throw this hatchet at the remaining werewolf. There's a sentence. Unfortunately, your aim is not the greatest, but you have dexterity. So go ahead and give me a dexterity roll.
Okay.
And you just get 3 dice unless you want to use the extra dice that Bowman got you, which would give you 4. Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna do that.
Yeet.
That is 1 success.
Okay, that's
a
enough.
9.
You hit him.
All you need.
So you hit him, and I'm going to say that's enough. You guys have clearly done enough to get them to stop chasing after you, and you drive off into the night as these werewolves kind of... What were you going to say, Chrissy?
Sorry about that. Your fur's very nice.
Sorry about that. And you speed off, and we're going to cut to your cousins at the Black Panther office. And there's about 4 or 5 people. You recognize them all. And they have brought all these guns. And your cousin goes, do you need our help? Do you want us to come with you?
I worry about putting you in danger, but I look at my back window and I'm assuming the werewolf shaped small-ish dent in Cynthia.
There's a little tooth stuck in the bumper.
I think we might
Well, what do you want us to do?
just follow us over and watch our 6, and when we go in, if we don't come out after a couple minutes, be back up.
All right. So that brings me to...
And I say, wear any silver jewelry you own.
So that brings me to my question of where exactly are you going to hit a do-right place, or are you going to the church? Which den of
Ooh.
evil are you heading to?
So wait, y'all would have told us about the church being mentioned as
I'm sorry, I assume that would have been something you would have told.
Absolutely.
Yes.
the
Yeah,
church.
so you,
I mean, a little metagaming here, but wasn't that the same church that your order member recommended we go to, Dr. Carlisle?
It
Yeah.
is.
he recommended both the church and both
And the-
churches in the city.
Hmm.
2 birds, 1 stone.
If we go to the church, yes.
I don't know if the do rights have anything to do with the church.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should talk to, well, hell, as I'm kind of using my elbow to scrub the blood off of the front of the car. Maybe if we'd thought about this before, they did imprison their son. Maybe we could if we talk our way out of this, we could turn the do rights to get rid of Beelzebub and make some kind of contract with them to keep peace in the city.
Your cousin's
Oh.
like, you want to get a werewolf to do on your side? That seems awfully dangerous, especially after whatever happened to your ride.
Surely they might appreciate a show of force that rouses even the most feral beasts.
Surely.
I mean, whatever plan y'all want to go with, I'm with it.
We're here to back you up. You do
we've got
whatever.
we've got enemies on all sides at this point.
think-
It might be wise to make an ally.
I think Angelique is onto something, and loath as I am to admit it, Simone is right. If we have a show of force, they might be willing to talk. These are no mere werewolves who have no choice of when they shift into their wolf form. They can shift into human form at any time.
We also have in our midst a sympathizer. And I look over at Wendy.
Although they might find me a little less sympathetic since I hit one with a hatchet, but it was also in self-defense. But yes, typically, paranormal things, they do have the inclination to at least talk to me first prior to attacking. Now, how long that lasts varies.
And I look at Wendy. Behind this sweet mask of purity, there exists a twisted mind.
Yeah, I give you that one.
That was so well done.
Spectacular.
Bravo. All right, so if you know that Carnage House is one of the places that the werewolves have taken up. I'm going to throw up the map real quick. So I personally am going to disappear like magic. All right, so you know that they hang out at Golden Heights. There's one at Golden Heights. There's one at Carnage House. There's one that hangs around the city graveyard in the South District. The two that you have no idea, the area that you're in, you probably are close to Washington Rail, which is right in the middle, like by Ruby State Park. So you could literally go to any one of these. Carnage House is pretty high. The graveyard is to the south. Which one do you think you want to go to?
So I pull out the map and I'm like, if we go to Carnage House, that's the closest route, and to get to God's house after.
Yes,
Carnage, I'm all
I
for it.
agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That sounds
a little lore for you all. The reason it's called Carnage House, from your days in the school, is that several murders happened in the early 60s here, and it got nicknamed the Carnage House because there was disembowelment and all that fun stuff. And no one has lived there except for the Do-Right family. And they bought the house a few years after, and people think that it's cursed. So they stay well away from it.
Well, we don't have to worry about any casualties of anyone who's not supposed to be there. Nobody wants to go to Carnage House.
I always like the name.
Okay. So you all head up there. You've got, I'm going to say at this point, you've got like 3 cars. You've got your car and then 2, well, it is the 70s, 2 cars. You got 1 car full of you all and then 1 car full of the cousin and the rest of the Black Panthers who are helping you out. And you pull up to this huge house. It's a manor, but it doesn't look like it's been well kept. It has an Addams Family vibe to it totally. And again, it's night and you feel the fog start to roll in as you roll up. You park. Are you all going to go in by yourselves, or are you taking the whole crew, all 9 of you in there?
All right, y'all. We're going to go in show of force, just like you said. And I nod to everyone. And just maybe let me do all the talking.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you walk up to the front steps and knock on the door.
I've got my shotgun strapped across the back and just standing with my hands in front of me.
A tall man, probably 6'3", opens the door. He looks like he's in his late 50s, which in the 1970s looked a lot older than it does now, just to clarify. So he looks like an older gentleman, full on adult, just grizzled. And he's got very dark olive skin, dark eyes with wavy brown hair that's very thick, and he looks at you and your companion. He goes, this is a surprise to see you here. I didn't expect my lunch to show up on my doorstep. I guess it's dinner time for you people.
Well, I hate to say it, but we're not here to be your lunch, I say, and I kind of like shift the shoulder with the weapon on it. We're here to make a deal. Proposition. A treaty, if you will.
And what treaty would that be?
We'll stop killing the rest of yours if you help us root out a different problem that's going to try and kill us all.
So tell me, why did you kill my son in the first place if you wanted to be allies?
Well, I don't know about the rest of my companions here, but up until yesterday, I had no idea y'all were even a thing in Blackwater Bay. We were attacked upon freeing your son from the cage that he was put in by these cultists.
How did he end his life? I heard you all were the ones that did him in, right?
In defense of our own lives? Absolutely.
They had starved him. He was crazed. He wasn't thinking clearly.
He tried to take our heads off.
I see. So, again, I think this is going to be, I guess that's a toss-up. Let's say composure and persuasion for Angelique. So give me a roll.
So 1 and composure 4. Big money, no whammies. Yeah. Okay, I got 110, and then that's it.
Well, that's 2 successes, so I'm going to say that he softens his stance a little bit and says, What you're saying makes sense. If these cultists are capable of trapping my type, then they are a danger to us. But how do we know that you won't turn on us the second that they are gone, monster hunters?
I'm not a monster hunter. I'm just trying to get my education.
I quite like monsters. Just not whenever they're trying to kill me or my friends.
This one's a monster lover, after all.
I'm more concerned with cultists than monsters.
I quite agree.
So if we are to work together, what thing should we do next then?
Well, before we go any further, let's draw up a treaty to make sure that you and your family aren't causing any undue harm to the people of Blackwater Bay.
Beyond our normal eating?
Beyond your normal eating.
Okay.
We will...
That's actually interesting. Who do you typically, take down? Who do you typically have for dinner?
Well, not joggers. They're stringy.
Yes.
I mean, it really
I need to
depends
take up
on
jogging.
what we want in that particular night. Sometimes we don't eat human at all. Actually, often we don't.
Yeah, if you could keep it to people who deserve to be eaten, that would be I'm sure there's plenty of them around. I ran into somebody who deserved it just earlier today, and I'm sure you'll get the chance. So, yeah.
Well, you'll be joining us. There's plenty to feast on.
Speaking of which, when do we strike and how?
So the map comes out again. We know that your family has holdings here, 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 and here. It's all central to this location of God's House Church. It seems to be where they're running their operations.
So you want to strike at God's House Church, I see. All right. Do we do this on this evening, or do we do it when we can have more time to get everyone together? It is your call.
I worry that giving Beelzebub and his followers any more time to gather their wits will put us at an end, put us at odds with our purpose.
I agree with you. I will put out the call for the rest. We'll meet you at the church in half an hour.
Bring weapons.
Of course. And he hands over the document that you were all working on during that entire scene. Here you go. And I just want to thank chat for going along with the fourth wall breaking. We're having fun with it. So
yeah.
So you take your contract with the werewolves. Your background is very apropos, Janine, with the moon. Yes. And you start to head over to the church. And you will cut to all of you coming together, let's say a couple blocks from the church. And all the lights are on and it's getting close to midnight. Oddly enough, they seem to be having a, I don't know, what do Protestants call mass? Just service?
Just a service.
Right. I have forgotten. So they seem to be having a service late at night, as if their organization might have been interrupted by some upstart children and their crazy love for werewolves. So it was Mr. Whitman the whole time. What do you all want to do? What do you tell the other Black Panthers to do? What do you tell the werewolves to do? How do you want to approach this?
All right. We're going to go in, and I'm like looking at the windows and like after circling the church. How many of us are there total?
9.
9.
Oh, well, with the werewolves, there are, math bad, 12.
I'm like, how many have we accidentally killed?
You've heard quite a few, so there's a little bit of an issue there.
All right. The 4 of us are going to go in through the back door. And you, and I point to the Panthers, 4 of you are going to go in through the front door and say that you're here. They've not seen any of you. Who am I? What accent is this? I've lost myself.
For a 70s movie, you're exactly where the accent needs to be.
And y'all are going to go in through the front door and say that you're here to join in on the services. Just make it seem convincing, cause a distraction. They can't turn you away. It's church. And the wolves, I point to the top of the roof. You're going to go in and work your way down.
We can do that for sure. And so you all break. Wow. This is going to be a very big scene. And before we hit the scene, I have to say that we appreciate our financial backers a lot. You've made this scene possible. So we will be using fake bullets, I'm sure. We don't have a coordinator anymore. They left. So this scene's going to be, I'm sure everything will be fine. That was a fake knife, right? Never mind. Prop Master, you all go to the back of the church, and at the appointed time, everybody goes in at the different stages. The Black Panthers are coming through the front. The werewolves are on top of the building, making their way down. And when you get in there, you have seen that they have removed all the pews. They've removed all the religious iconography. There's a fun word. And on the ground, there's a huge pentagram. And at each point, there is a student, probably, early, young kid in their 20s, who has laid themselves out, pointing with their heads towards the center of the pentagram. They have blood oozing out of them. They're still alive. Their eyes are open, and they're muttering something. And in the center is the priest, and he has on a long black robe with a red hood over his head, and he is saying all of these incantations and words. And there are other cultists throughout the room making a circle around as they try to summon Beelzebub into this realm. And you all burst in at the same time. Go ahead, Simone. What were you going to say?
No, I was bursting in.
Okay, cool. So
give me my mock, director.
Attack. So the way that we usually do initiative in this game is you have to go off how many blips you get on, I believe it's athletics or whatever. I actually, for initiative for this game, I'm going to say that we're going to use more of the Powered by the Apocalypse rules, which makes more sense for a stream where you all get to go. One of you picks who goes first, and then that person picks who goes next. They can even pick me to go next. So you have to make a decision. Does Wes go last, or do I want Wes to go now before, I make my decision? But to me, that's a little bit of a better way to do initiative. It's quicker. And with this big of a battle going on, it'll just make more sense. So remember, I'm playing I'm going to be moving the you guys actually no. You guys are going to be moving both the werewolves and the Black Panthers. So you have to say, hey, we're going to use the Black Panthers this time, or we're going to use the werewolves at this time. So I'm going to say Candace, Simone she burst through. So what is your first move? You've seen all this in front of you. What do you want to do?
Does there seem to be, there's a high priest?
Yes, he's in the center. It's, he's got on this robe, this with a red cowl and a long black robe. And he's got the smoking purse, which is very Catholic, but it's black and wrong. And he's, it's not a good herbal smell. It's a bad ratweed smell. And he's saying, blah, 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 all these like cultish words.
There's salt on the floor and like a pentagram shape and some chalk and stuff.
Right. There's no salt or chicken, but there is a pentagram with the students in each of it's a huge pentagram with students laying in each of the points.
I'd like to run and just try to like do like an acrobatic flip, but like
over the circle of cultists that are around. Because there's a circle of cultists around the thing. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to try to land and like have my momentum, like push the high priest like off kilter. Interrupt, if I can.
So this feels very much like a 70s martial arts film, which I am totally for. Let's do athletics and that'd be athletics. No, that'd be close combat, I think.
Okay.
Because you're trying to strike.
Yeah.
And dexterity.
Okay. That's 3 successes.
Excellent.
Nice.
Now, do you want to
10
use
and a 9?
Do you want to use the extra 2 to do more damage to this guy? Or
yeah, if I can I set his robe on fire with his burning weed?
Yeah, sure. That sounds fun. So you hit him and you use your extra successes and slam into him, and the smoking purse hits him and it starts to flame up a little bit. Who do you want to go next? This is going to get really hairy really fast.
I think I'd like Angelique to like make her entrance so that she can give everybody else direction.
Okay.
Just so real quick, why don't we do this? Because it's your cousin in the Black Panthers, you're gonna say what the Black Panthers does. Wendy, because she has the fascination, is gonna say what the werewolves do. Is that cool?
I like that.
All right, go for it.
So I'd say the Panthers at this point kind of cock their weapons and start pointing them at the students, at the youth who are down trying to get this process, and tell them to get up off the ground.
Okay.
And approach the wall.
All right. I'm just going to roll really quickly for persuasion for that, just for you, and you figure out what you want to do. What do you want to do?
And now that he's on fire, presumably?
He has started to alight.
I'm just going to approach and, like, put it out and tie him up. Gag him.
Okay. So to do that, you're going to have to get through the ring of cultists that are there. Simone catapulted herself over them and slammed in.
Are they not moving, or they're defending?
Well,
they're going to stay and defend.
They're going to defend, but they're just they're in your way right now. Remember, combat's like a second thing. Like this is literally all happening at the same time.
So I approach, and rather than like doing anything flashy and moving out of the way, I pull out my butterfly knife, which I have practiced with extensively. And I am going to use close combat to kind of like hit people in the head, trying not to do any lethal damage, but like incapacitate them so that they get out of my way.
Okay, so we'll say that this is this feels like a montage situation fight here at this point, because if we go through every single hit on this, it's going to take a while. So what I'm going to say is, why don't we do this? Every single person, all 4 of you, and roll your best combat skills. So close combat plus whatever your best attribute that would link into it. If you have your bonus die, you can use your bonus die. If you have a trademark that fits into this, use that trademark now and get an extra 2 die. Roll those dice, each person, and give me your totals. And then what we're going to do is you're going to then each tell me what you do to move this forward. Okay? So it's basically an easier way to deal with this big mass combat that we've got going on. So each person roll and let me know what you get.
Can I use one of my quips for a die?
Sure. What do you going to use? Didn't you already have one?
I've stocked up. I have 3 quips. So.
Okay. Yeah, you can use one for that.
I already rolled. Am I also rolling here?
I'm going to say next round you'll roll. This round you did your thing. You set them on fire.
Rip.
Okay.
I got 3 successes.
Excellent. So with those 3 successes, that means you can hit, I'll say because they're basically mooks, I can say that you can knock one success is knocking out 1 mook. So you can knock 3 of them out with your butterfly knife or however you want to do it. Explain how that looks.
So I approach and I kind of like give them the stance and give them the, as I like I'm advancing
they start
upon
running
them
towards you.
Yeah, and with one hand the butterfly knife kind of flicks out and like the butt end of it hits them right in the temple, and with the other I just kind of like sidestep on the left side and just pop him down, like hitting him in the elbow with my elbow right at the back of the skull so that he's knocked out. And I come to stand in front of this priest who's on fire, and I'm like, you play with hell, sometimes you get set on fire.
Nice. Okay. Wendy, how many successes did you get?
I got 3. I got a 10 and an 8 out of 3 dice total.
Excellent. What do you want to do?
I'm going to come running in with the werewolves, and I'm going to send the werewolves after 2 of them, and they're going to take 2 down, and then I'm going to come in with the club that Angelique gave me, and I'm going to be batting it against my hand. I always wanted to play softball with somebody's head. And bam.
Okay. So you knock out 3 as well. You hear the blood-curdling screams of the cultist being chewed on. Dr. Carlisle, did you get any successes?
I got 1 success. And I would like to use it to run through a gap that's been created because some of them are going towards Angelique, some of them are being mauled.
Right, and they're starting to scatter a little bit, obviously.
Okay. And I want to look at the markings that are on the floor, the giant pentagram, but also any other markings.
Okay.
And can I roll to do according to my calculations?
Sure.
To see if I can disrupt this spell that they were.
Yeah. Now let's see what kind of roll that would be. Probably Enigma and...
Well, according to my calculations, it's one of my trademarks, and it's Enigma, Science, and Resolve.
There you go. Okay. Is it Science and Resolve or?
No, Science and.
Wow. Okay.
For trademarks, you get 2 skills and then a attribute. Yeah.
Cool. Then do it to it.
Oh, real quick, I did want to use one of my trademarks on the end of that, those successes, but we can circle back to that for sure.
Okay. Yeah, just remember for next, because it just gives you a +2 die on whatever thing you're going to do. Dr. Carlisle?
I have 8 successes. I rolled 3 10s and 2 9s.
Holy cow.
Wow.
All right.
I've rolled all game.
It's a spicy night.
It is a spicy night.
Goodness.
I think it's the hot chips.
Must be.
It's a hot chip night.
It's a hot chip kind of night.
Okay, so yeah, damn, that's take it away, Dr. Carlisle. What would you like to do in this moment?
Okay, I look at the markings and I make some calculations in my head because I understand what exactly they're trying to do, because they're trying to bring Beelzebub himself in, right?
Right, correct.
Okay. So I grab like one of the torches that they have, and I like put it out so it can make smudges with the other end, and I start changing the markings. We can reverse it and get the demons to go back down.
All right. Well, that will definitely cost you all of your successes, but you are successful. So you start making all these markings as the guy in the center who's now really on fire is like, ah, and spinning around, not far from where Simone is. Wendy is watching her werewolves do their thing after hitting one of the cultists in the head. And Angelique, what extra thing did you want to do with your trademark, or did you want to save that for the next?
My trademark that I made, the one that I made up, is Finders Keepers. So I get combat and larceny as my skills, and then dexterity as my attribute.
Okay.
So I'm attempting to take away the implement of his, like
Power.
the final physical implement of his casting.
Okay, so before we get to that, of course, I think the cultists should get a chance to react to some of this. Though you have all been running, you've been all rolling so well. So I'm gonna make a couple rolls, and we're gonna say some of the braver ones are gonna try to hit you, but you have caused great pandemonium. So we will start with you, Dr. Carlisle, as you're making these marks. They're going to try to smack you.
You dance with the devil, you get burned.
So one of them hits you for 3 successes. Comes up, just hits you with like some kind of wood implement that's in the church. So if you want to dodge, you can. But... well, no, you made a really good roll, so I'm not going to screw that up for you. But you can dodge to try to avoid taking that damage.
Okay. That would be athletics and
Dexterity.
dex.
And then what you have to do is you have to basically pay off. You can either take the hit or you roll to pay it off. So you're rolling to, basically it's a difficulty 3 now because they hit you with 3 successes. So you're trying to get rid of those.
Okay.
And then you'll take the remainder.
Right. If you don't get rid of all 3, then you take the damage.
I got 3 9.
Whoop whoop.
I am not
Oh
kidding
my
you.
gosh.
I will never roll this
Fuck
well
you, cultist.
again.
Fuck you.
Eat my shorts.
Right. So
Jive turkeys.
Just so everybody knows, jive turkeys exist.
I was waiting for it to be like the perfect moment to use that.
So yeah, you dodge. You're fine. So then let's move on to the others.
Deflect with my pipe.
Okay, yeah, Chrissy, no one's coming towards you. They're like, oh my god.
This got command of werewolves.
This bitch is crazy.
Okay, the rest of my mooks all missed. Okay.
We stabbed Jed.
So why don't everybody roll at the same time like we did last time? Count up your successes, and then we will go around and deal with what happens next, okay?
What are we rolling again?
You're rolling
Dexterity,
whatever you want to do for this particular round. So if you're attacking, you want to use close combat and dexterity. If you're going to do something that's more magical, you might want to do enigma and manipulation or composure, that kind of thing.
Okay, so this is like the appropriate moment to use my trademark.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. This is the appropriate moment to use your... And to throw this out there, just so everybody knows, 12-Sided Stories in general is a rules light podcast and stream. So what that means is if we're in the middle of this kind of fight and we're not remembering every single rule, we will hand wave stuff just to keep the story going. That's just the kind of group that we are. We enjoy role play over the fiddly mechanics of stuff. So if that's the kind of stuff you enjoy, then you're in the right spot. If you're like, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm sorry. It's just who we are. It's what we do. So
Can I use command and dexterity because like I'm commanding the werewolf and then the dexterity? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I use enigmas and resolve to try and like undo some of this spell or like mess with it somehow to slow it down?
I will say that you can do that. I'm going to say that it's a difficulty 2. Actually, no, here's what we'll say. It's a difficulty 1, but there are some conditions.
Okay.
There's 1 point of condition, and basically if it's not paid off, you get marked. You can stop the spell, but Beelzebub marks you and is probably going to come for you very soon.
Well, I thought I reversed the spell, though.
You have reversed the spell, but I believe Candace wanted to do something more to it.
Like, I want to try to, like, close it down completely. And, like,
okay.
because
Like,
I have, yeah, like, I feel like in this room with this energy, having experienced this kind of, like, demon raising before.
Yeah.
Like, I want to, like, put it to bed and
that makes sense.
Clear my name.
Yes. That makes total sense. So go ahead and do that, but just know that you need to get 2 successes to make sure everything. Anybody else have any questions?
I just don't know what I want to do.
Oh, you could do a close combat attack if you want. I mean, I know you don't have the skill to really do that.
Burn.
I mean, I guess I could with just might.
Did you say we have a bonus die tonight?
We do.
Do I just roll it? Do I just say I'm using the bonus die?
Go for it. Use the bonus. Why did you not make enough successes?
I mean, I have 1.
You have 1 success. Okay.
I just want to try to not be marked, you know?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
God, now you've got, prison guards after you and Beelzebub.
You are able to shut down the spell. You feel the energy rise up for a second, and then your heart hurts just for a moment, as if it's being burned on the inside, marked, branded.
The black spot.
It's terrible just for a moment. And you'd realize that you are now on Beelzebub's list. All right.
Because your kiss.
All right, let's go to Angelique. What do you do?
So as I approach this burning effigy of a man, I'm just going to take the what are those things called? Like the little smoky thingy?
The smoking purse thing I was talking about?
Yeah. Is there anything else that he's holding or would have
Not
been
anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
He had a demonic Bible.
Yeah. So it's close combat and larceny. So I kind of like kick him onto the ground in an attempt to get him to figure out, hello, stop, drop, and roll. And
yeah, at this point he's just screaming and
yeah, I kick him over and take the purse. I'm assuming the book is somewhere off to the side.
Yeah.
Smoldering.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
And I got 3 successes on that.
Awesome. So do you want to just apply everything to damage or because you'll kill him?
No, I don't want to apply everything to damage. Maybe I could use part of that to like literally physically roll him.
Sure. Yeah. So you want to put out the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use your successes to do that. And he is pretty easy to incapacitate. We'll say that you're able to incapacitate him at this point. Wendy, what are you up to?
Well, if they don't seem like they want to keep killing anybody, then I will have the werewolves kind of threaten the leftover students, and if there's any leftover cultists, kind of form a little bit of a barrier. Well, yeah, either that or chase them out, or just make sure that they don't try to continue anything that they were doing or to come after us. Just making sure that
breaking their will.
Yes, stand the fuck down.
Sure. Oh. How many successes did you get?
I only got 2.
Well, I mean, that's enough to get the others, the cultists that aren't really high up on the chain they stand down. They see all the damage that has just been done, and there's werewolves, and 2 of them are being eaten. So they are willing to back off and run away. So cool. Carlisle, what are you doing?
For any that's not backing away, I guess, I still have the torch, the unlit torch in my hand. I want to whack someone on the head.
Sure. How many successes did you got? 2?
2.
So you incapacitate 2 people with that.
Okay.
And I'm going to say at this point, there's such a disarray that you all have basically won. And you're standing in this big room. There's werewolves, there's the Black Panthers, there's this guy who's really like groaning in pain, the cult leader. And you notice that most of those that are not injured and can get away have run out into the night. Most of them, you guess, have sworn off any more allegiance to Beelzebub. And the large werewolf, the leader of the pack, who's not an alpha because that's not a thing. Just so everybody knows, there are no alpha wolves. For the fuck's sake. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, he says to you all, now what? What do you want to do with this creature that we have stopped, this ritual? There's no Sigma wolves either, damn it. All right, go ahead. Anyway, what do you all want to do?
Beelzebub got bitches.
So, what do you all want to do?
What state is this summoner in?
He is
Washington.
He is definitely not looking good. He is in a lot of pain. He's been burned severely.
I kind of pick him up by the shirt, and I'm assuming my brothers and cousins like crowd around, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing? And how do we stop it?" Or I think we've stopped it. What the hell are you doing? And what do we do with you now? Why shouldn't I kill you now, where you stand?
He goes, "You can kill me. I'll just come back."
And who's bringing you back?
I think you know, my master. Until I'm able to bring him here, he is able to bring me back. Till he can do his work. And he points his burnt, bony finger up at Simone and goes, "You will help bring him back. You don't even realize it."
I punch him in the face.
And that's where we're going to stop this particular episode. So,
Violence!
Smack.
Violence!
Wow, this was a very, very violent episode, which, I mean, it's the blood we spill, so that's what we wanted. And yeah, thank you all so much. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to chat and for hanging out and chatting.
Chat was a riot tonight, by the way.
Yeah, chat was really cool. We appreciate all the follows. We're sorry, we're so engrossed in the game that it's like, oh great, people are following. Great, cool. We appreciate that. And we will be back next week for the finale of the show. A lot of wonderful things are going to happen, I'm sure.
A lot of terrible things are going to happen.
A lot of terrible things. Yeah, you don't even know. So I don't want to give away anything. I do, but that's the curse of being a GM, is knowing what horrible things lurk. So let's find out where all of these awesome people are so you can go over and check them out on other wonderful things. Let's start with Chrissy.
Oh, okay. Hi. Yeah, I'm Chrissy Ann Keller. You can find me on most socials as Chrissy Ann Keller. I'm kind of a little bit of a TTRPG mercenary. You can find me kind of all over the place. I play with QCG or Queen's Court Games sometimes. I play with Carrie Smith sometimes. Oh God, what else did I have lined up? I'll be playing some stuff with Brent Jans, Dorklord Canada sometime soon. And I have a announcement of something that's coming out very soon, but I don't know if I can make it yet. I'm not sure I can, so I don't think I will. But you'll see it on my Twitter within the next couple of days.
Awesome.
And I sometimes also play with Roll Together. I don't know why I forgot that. That's what I've been on a lot lately, actually. Yeah.
Awesome. Michelle?
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Michulu. That's Michulhu. You can also find my music and Wes's amazing sound effects if you subscribe to the Plate Mail Games catalog through BattleBards.
And Candace?
Oh,
you're muted.
You're muted.
Hi, everyone. Candace Magnificent, not on mute. It is nice to see everyone tonight. You can find me at that Candace Girl on Twitter, at Candace the Magnificent everywhere else. You can see me this Thursday night. I believe we start at 8 p.m. on Saucefire's channel doing Waterdeep Tales, which is a super cutesy Animals of Waterdeep adventure that we're playing. I play a little gray cat named Merlin, the
so
plucky.
Not this.
No, not this. If you'd like to see me have less murderous instincts, head over there. You can also find me coming up on Insight Check's channel. You can find me on Carrie Smith's channel. You can find me on Kay Damphier's channel. Definitely check out her Chaotic Wholesome Talk Show every Tuesday night. And I think that's it. I have some other things that I'm not allowed to discuss yet, but maybe next week.
NDAs are always fun. Yes. And last but not least, Janine.
Hi, I'm Janine, also known as J9 and or XJ9. You can find me on Twitter at Blips and Chits, where I have my regular schedule posted on Saturdays. This Saturday, we are finally rolling into our episode 2 of Sovereign over on Lore Everlasting. It's going to be exciting. We got some rescues to make. We got some dragons to slay. We got some ladies and lords and lizards to kiss. I'm so excited for that one. And then on Sunday, we will finally be back on TPC doing our regularly scheduled campaign after a long and kind of unanticipated hiatus. And then, yeah, that's what I'm doing for the rest of this week. Follow me on Twitter and I'll update you on anything else.
Awesome. And I am Wes Otis. You can find me at Plate Mail Games on Twitter. And then you can find us. All our links are below. We're 12 Sided Stories, the number 12, and then Sided Stories. We have a Discord. You should definitely join. Come talk to us. Tell us all the cool gaming things you're doing. And definitely join us on Twitter. We have an Instagram. I'm never fucking do it. I just don't. I'm terrible at it. Maybe at some point I will. Probably not. We also have a podcast that's been around for about 4 years at this point. We have tons of episodes. These are edited podcasts with music and sound effects. They are great. We have everything on there from Call of Cthulhu to cyberpunk stuff to fantasy. We got it all. Right now we're doing City of Mists. Every Friday we have an episode, and that's the Foundlings, so you can check that one out. We also just got done with Dead Drop, which is a great vampire like Illuminati thing, which was a lot of fun. So check out all our links below. Check out our Patreon. Check out our coffee. We have a Patreon Delta Green game that we do each month, which is fun because Delta Green is such a good system. The books are really well written. I love that system. So with all of that, thank you all so much. We will talk with you all very soon. Yeah, I need to set up a Nightbot. I know, Kiwi. I know. I'm terrible at this, obviously. We appreciate all of you so much. Thank you. Have a great week. And we hope you'll join us next time for the finale of The Blood We Spill. See you all later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.